Hello, and welcome back to my Factorio stream. Is there game audio? It appears to be completely silent, but there's nothing going on. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's all fine. And we have bit rates and. Hello, Ian. How are you doing? Yeah, it looks like we're all live, etc. So that's good. Right, I'll load up the test map. So I literally haven't even. Actually, that's wrong. I had to delete a load of save files because my thing is getting quite big. But I've literally not loaded this map up, so we're continuing exactly where we left off yesterday. Hope you're doing okay, Ian. On this Sunday. Right, so what I need to do, just to refresh myself, to be honest with you, what I did do is I loaded the numbers back up. So I just need to have a look at them. So, okay, so we did. I say I'm slightly. Can't remember, basically. So we did the low density structures, didn't we? So that was all done and they're all working. Then we've got blue. Did I finish the blue circuits? I think I did, didn't I? Yeah, it looks like I did the blues. Oh, that's right, but I didn't. I've not added green circuits in as an actual build. Okay, I'm remembering now. So we're on flying robot frames. So we've done them too. So we're on flying robot frames. Oh yes, that's right. Yes. I remember. Yeah, I was going to try and do everything here, apart from green circuits, probably. Yeah. Okay. So it's probably easiest, I guess, to start with the batteries, because that's just iron and copper. Oh yeah. Sorry, I literally haven't even thought about this since this time yesterday, sort of thing. I normally do a little bit in the morning because there's normally some, odd job I need to finish or whatever. But okay. So how many batteries do we need? We need 15.8 in theory. But we're feeding them into 42 machines. Okay, so isn't it 6 rows? Columns rather. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. So if we need 15.8, then 2 rows wouldn't be enough. So we'll have to do 3 rows. You well? Are you doing well? Also doing well? Yeah, I'm doing okay. I say I sort of. I haven't really done anything. I've been quite tired because I've been really busy at work. So it sort of just ended up crashing out basically all yesterday evening and this morning. But it's a couple. I tend to have quite hard deadlines at the job I do, so we work quite intensely for up to the deadline, and then it all just sort of drops away. So a couple of weeks and I'll be okay again. Right, so I don't know why there's a bit of belt there. That seems unnecessary. Like that. So that's the copper coming through. So I guess we need to recreate this here. Like that. In fact, I could probably just copy and paste that now. Let's just grab that. Like that. So we need 3 rows. So that needs to go to there. Cool. That's what the weekend is for, yeah. Thankfully. Right, so because I need to get sulfuric acid in here as well, don't I? Okay. So if we add in, say, a stack inserter there to grab. Oh no, that's the input, isn't it? Sorry, that's the output. Sorry for the batteries. Okay, so we need sulfuric acid being pumped in there somewhere. I can rotate this round, so I don't have to orientate it that way. But it would make some sense if we maybe have, because we can have the, obviously I don't need to take that up there, but you know, for the later ones, we do that, and then I'm using stack inserters just in case it needs a lot, because we're not going to have too many options for feeding too much extra stuff in. So if we just use stack inserters to start with. So this is going to be the iron plate coming up, and this is the copper, and then sulfuric acid I need to plumb in as a separate thing. We don't, I mean, you need like tiny amounts of sulfuric acid, so we can copy all of that. Okay. Oh, and hello, Skyscraper. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so I think that's all we need to feed in to them. I guess I could just kill that off there, so that I don't get any sort of cross-contamination in anyway. So if we copy this down, ooh, autosave. The save file's getting a bit silly now. I keep having to. I'm a bit chronic with like saving and keeping saves, and it was 3 rows, wasn't it, for batteries? Yeah, and they're like 170 gig, 170 meg each now. So like 10 saves is obviously 1.7 gig. And I like to use the cloud storage, you know, the Steam cloud storage. And so, you know, it's getting to the stage where there's only like, because I save it basically every time I play it. So, you know, I give it like an extra what do you call it? Suffix, basically. So it's A, B, C, D during the week. And so a week's worth of play is like half the entire cloud save, you know, space you've got, because you only have about 4 gigs. Started a new railroad factory Rail World factory last night, trying out the bus stuff for the first time. Okay. Right. So, I don't think I asked you, because you've played through before, haven't you? You've done rockets and stuff, but you've never given buses a go, or you sort of had a go and not found it to your liking, or because I find it interesting how people play. Why have they got 2 cars? Oh, that was when I was rattling on about train things, wasn't it? Because when I first started playing, it was classic spaghetti. Basically, it was just, throw everything around and, just get everything done. And that tends to be how I play even now, really. But when I discovered the bus system, that helped me just organise everything. And it is, it's kind of boring in a sense, the bus, but I find it really useful way of organising everything. Why? Oh, I was wondering why they weren't producing batteries, and they aren't producing batteries because they haven't hooked up the sulfuric acid. Right, so we'll just do this as well, and hopefully these should start pumping out batteries. No, you don't want. I'm going to have to flush the pipe now, aren't I? There we go. I was massively grateful when they introduced pipe flushing, because I'm terrible for accidentally joining pipes up and having an entire network full of the wrong fluid. and then you would have to pick up the entire. Well, you'd have to get a load of pumps in there to flush it all through, or pick it all up again and put it back down. Why is only one of them working? Oh, it's because it's full. Doesn't have an input, does it? Guess I didn't hook them up. No, okay. So if we just grab that. Oh, you never got to get rockets kept restarting. I hadn't watched anyone else do the Musk method till your series, so that's been helpful. Oh, cool. I'm glad it's been helpful. I say it's kind of. I mean, because of the nature of the way I play, I often make, because I don't have my personal blueprint library is completely empty basically, because I always tend to do the blueprints fresh each time, so that I do make errors obviously then, but yeah, I was kind of hoping certainly the first sort of half, well, the first whatever it would be. I'm not sure how many streams it was, about 25 or something, when I launched the rocket, and hopefully it's a sort of good rough guide to getting your rocket launched. You can actually, if you really wanted to do exactly what I did, and I don't know that you would because I made some errors, then I could get the seed, I think, because I can't remember. Oops. So I don't think it's a very good map, actually, necessarily. What the heck is going on there? Oh, okay. I was going to feed it in at the bottom, was I? Okay. Oh well. Just get rid of that. But yeah, I certainly think a rail world, particularly if you want to go big, a rail world is the way to go. I think, because it's it's green circuits as well, aren't there? But these need green circuits, don't they? Oh, that's right. I was gonna. Yeah, this. Yeah. Okay. I remember now. I remember. I was only putting that on one side, was I? Okay. Okay. I was saying, in case it's a bit random, I've haven't played basically. I haven't even thought about it since yesterday. Yamakara, who I've watched a lot, is a king of pasta. He gets results though. He's doing a Bobs and Angels run at the moment. Crikey! I can't imagine how much of a mess Bobs and Angels with. If you take a spaghetti approach to it would be. At some point, I may give Bobs and Angels a go, but I think I've already. Maybe I shouldn't think that way, but I think I might have already effectively kind of, written it off in a sense in my head, in that it's just too. It's too much of like complexity just for the sake of complexity, for me personally. I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, I started playing Crashtorio, and although it was interesting, even that was a bit too much. Changing the recipes just for the sake of changing the recipes, which I appreciate. Some people like, for the variety, for the newness. I don't know. It's not something I'm looking for, basically. Let's get rid of all these. I don't know why I did this way and not with a deconstruction planner, but oh well, I've done it now. Right, so we want this in here, like that, and that, and that. Cool. So we got the inputs then for that. Steel is, well, let's hook up steel and sort of see how much gets through, because this wants to be... Because I'm actually thinking about like using the iron plate as well, because these aren't going to eat a full belt's worth of iron plate each. I was into the idea of more stuff when he started the series. Now he's past the first 10 hours. I'm glad he's doing the driving. Yeah, it's I say it's the thing of, I mean, Bob's in particular is that whole thing of lots of different ways of doing the same thing, and I think I would find that interesting. But whether I'd really enjoy it and want to stick it right the way through, I don't know. But certainly, it was like Factorio. So you take, for example, a furnace. The furnace recipe is just, you put in one bit of iron and you get out one bit of plate. And obviously, it changes with beacons and modules and stuff, but that's the basic thing. And with Factorio, you have to put in like, I think it was 10 bits of iron ore and it gave you 10 bits of plate. And it's like, why? It's still 1-to-1. I might have got that wrong, but it was still like 1-to-1 in terms of the ratio. So why not just leave it as is? Why do you have to load in 10 bits to get 10 bits? It's not really changing anything. It's, actually I'll do... No, I didn't copy and paste it. Okay, do that. It's just fiddling about for the sake of fiddling about, and it's like... But Crash Theory, I know. I mean, it adds a heck of a lot of new things, particularly later in the game, and that's kind of what I'd want to get to. But it just sort of confused me, effectively. So are you going to get iron plate here? Yeah, so you see loads of iron plate comes through. There. Cool. Okay, so we can use that iron plate to make the gear wheels and cogs and pipes and stuff that we need. So, have you got... You've not got green circuits, of course. Okay. So, let's have a look and see what we need to do here. So, if I turn that off, that'll get rid of the iron plate for, for the batteries. But the steel one is combination of the iron plate we need for them, not steel. The iron plate there is the combination of those two and that. But I've got all my iron plate coming up at the same point, so I'm happy with that. We need 15 machines making electric engines. Only in theory, what's that, 11 engine units. It will probably be easier, particularly as those eat cogs and pipes quite at quite a rate. Probably easier to do a 1-to-1. So every machine we have making electric engines, we will have one making regular motors, even though we don't technically need it, just because it's sort of slightly easier to manage from experience. Now we need 15 electric engine machines, and we have a row of 6. So that's not a very good ratio. So we're going to have 3 rows of these, which means each one being matched with a row of engines. Okay. So, because I was going to output the engines on that side and keep the green circuits flowing past, Because these only need, I mean, lube is, you know, we can feed that in wherever. And what we basically need to do is ensure that we're getting green circuits sort of passing through, and electric engines as well. I say I can turn that wherever. Not it, yeah, the electric motor's out there. So what I could do, a bit cheeky, because if I'm out inputting there, I can actually have the motors basically being directly fed like that from a machine making them there. So if you see, that's electric engines, and I need the steel pipes and gear wheels, and I'm making the steel, or some of it here. Where's the steel? There's the steel. So we got the steel there. So we're going to need 3 rows. So we could do a 2 to 3 balancer. Because it won't need... So I've got too many machines, effectively. So there's a possibility it'll actually eat too much steel, if you see what I mean. You know, the first ones in the row will be fully fed, and this last one will be hungry, basically. So we need to guard against that, basically. What's the ratio on that? Yeah, it's 2 pipes, isn't it? Pipes is the tricky one. Yeah, we should be okay. In fact, let's get some... I can't put rods in there? Oh, no, I can. Which one is it you can't put? Oh, it's pipes, isn't it? You can't put prods in. Right, let's do this bit first. One of the things I should be doing more of, I think, and I've tried to stick rigidly to this structure because it gives me like obvious pass-through points. But it's actually hurt me in places, I think, and I could have, because this is exactly the same. If you have the line there, but it's sort of easier because you can feed in material or feed out material there. The reason I've stuck with this rigid, it's always in the middle, is because I'm not overlapping, but placing things next to each other that are completely different. And so it lets me have exactly the same layout, and reuse the beacons effectively. But say, some places I should have been smarter, because up here I'm not going to put anything next to it. Well, there'll be the cogs and gear wheels probably here somewhere, but I can they don't matter in a sense from that point of view. Right, so if I put, say, let's make that let's do it with a fast. So I'm going to need to fit in steel, but it's 2 pipes, isn't it? That's the tricky one. Okay. Because it was 2 lanes of steel, wasn't it, that I'm dividing into 3. So it's not really half a lane. That's annoying. Okay, let's put some power on. Stop it flashing. Because that's pretty annoying. And then we've got iron plate. Gear wheels. Okay, so if we imagine that some way, somehow, I have lube coming in, say... Well, I'll put it here, but it could come in from either side, I guess. But that's a separate build, so that's fine. So I'll just put a pipe there with some lube on it. GT fluid source. So that's lube this time. So if we can get you green circuits, and we wanted 3 of these basically, didn't we? So if I just do that part for the time being, and then we kind of work out the detail later. You see, this is the other thing. I'm going to have to pass this through. And it's going to be right in the way. So that's right in the middle. Okay. Because we're going to need a belt's worth of iron plate, a belt's worth of gear wheels, and a belt's worth of pipe, basically. I mean, I could do something funky, because that's the pass through there. So that sort of doesn't matter where that is. No, it doesn't reach. Okay. Okay, let's maybe see if we can arrange that a bit better. So if that's the... How far will that let me go? Okay, so that takes me all the way down there. Okay. If I sort of mirror that, that's a bit neater. So we want to go... What's that? So that's the... like that. Going, no. Oh. Like that. Like that. So hopefully this is one of our inputs, basically. There. Oh yes, so we need the green circuits as well, don't we? Oh, I haven't sorted that out, have I? So this is green circuits passing through here. Maybe if I move that down like the other one, that'll give me a few more options. So it would be there, like that. Cool. In fact, actually, that's... So this will be green circuits. Where's my thingy? There it is. There's always one of these that's quite tricky. So that's green circuits. Are you working? Oh no, I need to plot that in as well, don't I? So that's green circuits. That's the lube. You need the engine. So that is fine in quotes. It's feeding the stuff in for this that could be interesting. Because I can have one come through there, can't I? With no problems. Like that. In fact, we're probably better... In fact, I'll put fast ones on to start with. Yeah, okay. Maybe instead, if we go there, that's a bit tidier for all of them. Yeah, okay. So copy that, I think. Pop that there. And there. Okay. And then we can copy all of this. Like that. Cool. Okay. So all I need to do now is hook up enough steel pipes and cogs to run these machines. And how many of those do we in theory need? What I think I'm going to do here is bump up the number of engines so I can see how many it actually wants to do 15 machines. And engines are there. So how do I get to 15? I need more than that. I need, say, about 300. What does that do? That takes me above, so it's about 290 maybe, 280. No, 290 it is. So if we were producing 50, oh, it's slightly over, so 285 I guess, but that'll do. So if we were producing 15 machines like properly, which I say we're not, but we want to be able to, have all of them working, even if it's not full time, we would need 1.1 pipes and 0.6 cogs, and that's because I guess with all the speeds on these and prods, they absolutely spam them out. So it's actually way less than I was thinking. It is over half a belt of them, though. Okay. So actually, I could have double-sided a belt, I think, for each one. Okay, that's fine, though. So what I need to do, then, how much iron plate do those need? So if we take the steel out of the question, it's 2.1... Or has that that's got the green circuits in it as well, hasn't it? So it's a belt. It's a belt of iron plate. Okay. So it's not actually that much. I was being paranoid. So what we could do then is just have basically a machine doing cogs. Sorry, I always in my head they're cogs rather than gear wheels. But so I have one doing gear wheels and one doing pipe, basically. Now we do have those two there. Is that going to be enough? We will have to see. So if we output pipe from that one, like that, and I'll just run this up here. I do know these are very hungry, so we'll just stick this in, straight off. And this, I say, this is sort of the whole way I've done this, is that it's all sort of massively over producing the basic materials. So that could well sort of come back to bite me, in the sense that is that going to work? So if I do one of my things here, outputting, in fact, maybe if we do them. So this is like my double-sider. Why did you not... Oh, you're the wrong way. Yeah. And then we want, obviously, prods in there. Speeds in there. And then I can't put prods in there. No. Speeds. And more speeds. And then we do the opposite. So we have them output there. And we take this one that way. Go. And then this is the steel. I think I was being a bit paranoid about that. That's not actually too much of a problem. But we see we've got 3, so we need a 2-to-3 balancer. Not a 3-to-2, a 2-to-3. Where's the 2-to-3? There's 2-to-3. These are not my balancers, just to make it very clear. Don't think I could work out how to do something compact and balanced. Because I only need this little sort of adjunct for the like engines. So hopefully a single lane of iron and copper will satisfy them. Like that. Right, let's see if it runs. Why are you not... running, because that should have kick-started the whole... Oh! No, that's the motors. Why are you not outputting? Oh, no greens. Oh, I didn't copy that over, did I? There we go. Stick that on now. We'll go in green circuits. But you've got no motors. Oh. Oh, I've got them all the wrong way around. How have I done that? Ah, it's annoying. I guess I put them in the opposite way around. And nothing's coming through. Oh, they're all the wrong way around. Dear me. Like that. Like that. No, that's right. Are you all the right way around? Yeah. I think I said that yesterday, didn't I? I find the undergrounds to be one of the trickiest things to, in a sense, understand. Sort of breaks my... Or I can never see the arrows properly. Or well enough, as it were. So why are you not running now? Because what? I thought I did all these. Obviously missed a couple. All of those are running, aren't they? Yes, they are. All of those are running. Yes, they are. All of these are running? Yes, they are. This is where the... I can't remember what it's called. The mod that shows you whether machines are running or idle or whatever is very useful. Okay, so we're getting electric motors. Now, I have not hooked up the green circuits, so we can do that. Oh, it's already done there. Like that. One more. And again. And a final time. Are you going to get green circuits? You're going to get green circuits. Oh, that inserter's the wrong way around. Brilliant. No, that's fine. So it's just the bottom one I've messed up there. Let's do that quickly. So, we can copy and paste this thing feeding in the green circuits. Like that. We're almost there. Right. Let's just let that chunk through. The overhaul mod I'm most interested in playing is the space exploration one. Because I think conceptually that's probably one of the most interesting ones. But it looks actually quite complicated the way it's been done. And of course that's, I don't know if you guys know, but the Factorio mods have hired Arandel, who did that mod. And kind of that's, I think that's what we're all expecting the expansion they're working on to be about. A similar sort of thing. So I'm quite interested in giving that a go, just to see what that's about. And if they do, introduce that to the game, sort of to be able to compare it between, what he did and what Woob ends up doing. So these all appear to be running. Not map, production. Right, so let's have a quick look at science. So on gold science, over the last minute, let's see it average out. 5.3, 5.4. Happy with that, I think. 10-minute numbers, obviously, because it was sat there doing nothing, but that's fairly constant. Okay. It's not falling off as we run out of something or anything like that, so that's all fine. Cool. I think we might have our basic gold science build. Let's have another quick look. I like to give it a little while because you get that effect where things back up because they basically self-buffer. And so sometimes you can set it going, think it's fine, and then actually when it sort of runs out of, electric engines or something, the whole thing grinds to a halt. But that seems to be fairly constant. Yeah, I think that's okay. The question then is, so at the moment I've built this with the assumption that green circuits will be fed in as a separate build, and that the fluids will all be fed in as a separate build. The fluids I'm happy with because that's how I've done it for all of them. Also plastic. Plastic I've been feeding in via separate belts. So what we could try and do is add green circuits into this. The reason that's tricky, well, it's not tricky as such, but basically I would need to because I've got green circuits. I shouldn't have done that, basically. They should have been at the top because that would have made it a little bit easier. But let's have a look at the numbers. What do the green circuits look like? So if we look at... No. Where's... Oh, sorry. So turn the robot frames off. Green for the blue circuits, without red circuits, I would need 30 green circuit machines. And then I would need... Of course it won't show me that, will it? I would need another 15, basically, for the red circuits. How would that work? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a bit naff. Is that right? That doesn't sound right. Sounds like too many red circuits. So if we take red circuits out of the mix, then it's 30 machines to provide what the blue circuits need just for themselves. When we add that back in... Oh no, it's only 5, isn't it? So it's 4.3. I added 10 in somehow there. Yeah, so it goes from 30 to 34.3. So it's 5 green circuits to provide red. So effectively, one of these columns, we can add 1 green circuit machine in to cover both of them. 1, 2. No, there's only 3. So we would need probably 1 machine making green circuits for each of these. Not that one. For each of those. Okay. And we'd probably have to... Because green circuits are slightly hungrier for copper. I think I've got away with 2 to 1 because as it's not even a full green circuit, it's it's half a belt's worth, so it's not really. But we do need a separate copper thing. The tricky part is the blue circuits themselves. Oops, wrong thing. We need 30 machines. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it'd be 5 each, wouldn't it? Because that'd be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. But of course I'm feeding them in both at the bottom and at the top. So it's like 2.5 machines. So I could switch it round. Could I? Would that work? So that it was maybe... Because at the moment this central one is getting green circuits from both sides. But, I mean, these are over full. So we could swap it so that we had, say, 2 machines at the bottom and 3 at the top. Because what I'm thinking is I can basically just continue these down. So I can just keep going with red circuit and copper. And that means there's a bit of space here for all the belts. So the copper, these copper lines are probably going to have to be separate. Because it's interesting this one isn't doing anything. I guess that's because of the overproduction I'm doing. Oh yeah, there you go. So it's occasionally working. It's mostly idle, but say that's because of the whole overproduction. But I don't think I could... I think it'd be safer to have those as separate lanes. But given I'm going to do that, maybe I have 3 at the bottom and 3 at the top. Rather than the 3 and 2, and then it's sort of covered. And effectively we take these 3 lanes of green and turn them into, 2 lanes of green. Take that way. This green up there, with the plastic, that might be interesting. No, I could. In fact, that could be another one I take down the side and just feed in where I need to. Okay. So conceptually, that's not too bad for feeding greens in there. What's it like over here? It's even easier over here, isn't it? Because I've literally just got a bunch of machines. What are the numbers like on this? It shouldn't even be that high. So we turn the blue circuits off. And turn the rotor frames on. And this is the combined set. So it's only 3.4 machines. And since we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inputs, a single green machine each will probably cover us. If I wanted to get really nasty, would that work? No, that wouldn't work. I was going to say I could put a green machine in there. Because we've obviously got that line of iron plate. Notice how this is kind of running low now. This is what I was saying about the material backs up and gets used up. So what we actually probably want to do is take one of these lanes. Because you see it's basically going all going into steel. At least one of these lanes. And combine it. I say that's why you need to run them for a while. Because now we get it replenishes it effectively. In fact, we could probably take all of these and sort of, balance them together, basically. Like this. Whoops. Do something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a 4-to-1 balance of basically, which is just a couple of splitters, isn't it? Yeah. Something like that. Did it drop down? Oh, it's going to 5.6 there. No, it stayed fairly constant. So it obviously wasn't actually a problem as such, but so it's why you need to run them for a while. Yeah, so what I'm thinking, we sort of try and put the green circuits on here basically for these, and we just have one green circuit machine for each of them, and it won't run anything like maximum speed because it doesn't need to. Where's the green circuits? The green circuits are there, and prod's in there, and speed's in there, power there. And we can have, you know, whatever's left, basically, of these two. And then we just have a copper cable machine. Here. Some prods in. Like so. And feed that in directly. And what you can usually get away with this, because it needs quite a lot, but, you know, the machine is going to be not really running very quickly, so probably get away with something like this. So outputs on both sides again, and we want iron plate. That's which one are we going to put in where? So we can have that one coming across there. Oops, coming across there, like so, and that one like that. No, we need a thing like that. And then this is just all copper all the time, like so. And it kind of doesn't matter where we get the copper from. It'll be another train, basically. But we need a 2-to-1. I don't want. Why did I put that in there? The get rid of that. Where is it? There it is. The loader. So yeah, so it's slightly starved of copper, but all it's doing is feeding one green circuit machine, and then that's slightly starved of copper cable. But yeah, you know, all it's having to do is feed these, and it should produce enough. I say we'll have to leave it running for a little bit to see what happens, but it should be fine once it's all stabilized. If I just copy this up quickly, like so. Oh, I wonder if they're not running. Need to do that. There we go. Oh, I haven't. No, it's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Now, what we need to check, I say you have to leave it running for a little bit to see. But hopefully, everyone here is still working. Ah, okay. He's not getting green circuits. Very much at all. Okay. Can we boost your input? We could just do the old triple input. Effectively, this is sort of like direct insertion. So it's still not even quite enough. Oh, I haven't got. I need to. Sorry, we do need that then. There we go. Tiny little gap. We can add another one on. We can do side as well, because this is just 1-to-1 basically, so we're not sort of too fussed about passing things through. Let's just make sure it's sort of as happy as we can make it. A tiny little gap. So it is having a tiny little drop. I mean, if we really want to get silly, we can move that over one and have more of these, and also on the other side of the belt. But hopefully that'll produce enough. You're not even... Oh yeah. Okay. So is green circuits getting all the way down? Yep, loads of them. Brilliant. So that's that bit done. We'll copy that over. So I want in fact, why don't I just use this? So if we take out belt from here, like that, and I can just chop you out. Like that. And might as well just copy that. No, missed. To there. Okay, we'll leave that to run a bit and then come and check on it. But it's basically the same thing for here, only sort of sideways. I was just thinking, let's have a look at the thing. Do I need one-to-one parity with machines? I do. So actually, what we need to do here is for this to be another copper cable machine here somewhere. So basically, what's just occurred to me is with these ones, this first what's set here, that's fine. One copper cable machine making green circuits, you know, we know should be fine, because these won't need to run full time to do half a belt, even though it's a bit longer. It should be okay. Even if they aren't, we can sort of output more of the machine onto the half of a belt to fill it up. And you see, it's not taking it, you know, it's not continuously moving, so it's not taking even half a belt's worth, really. The issue is that in order to do these ones here, which are for these green circuits, I'm actually going to have to have more copper cables. And basically I would have, say, one green circuit, you know, copper, green circuit, copper, you know, to boost the production. And then I've got a difficulty where I've got to get all of these over to here, and there's a whole bunch of copper cable machines in the way. I mean, I suppose I would have, because this could be a green circuit machine. Oh, so that's going to get very complicated. The other option is I just add an extra row on, basically. Tricky. That might work quite well, actually, because I can feed copper in here. Yeah, that might work. Because you need a huge amount of copper to keep green circuit machines going. Yeah, let's give that a go. See how that works. It's going to mean basically pulling all of this up, though, to make proper room. So get rid of all of this. Like so. And then kind of work it back in. Right, so. Yeah, so this is then green circuit machine, prod modules. Oops. Same thing, like so. So I'm not sure why I'm doing them by hand, but yeah, whatever. And this would be, so then we would have green circuits coming up that way. We want to output them for this first one, like so. I mean, I could do that. That'll. No, I can't because it's a single-sided thing. Right, yes, we can do that. We need iron plate for this as well, don't we? Okay. So then we have. Actually, I moved that down. So we then get the copper cable machine there. And pop that in there. In fact, can I just... We'll give it a go. We might need more copper. We shall see. Is rotational symmetry going to be easiest? I'm not sure. Okay. Oh. Okay, so I need inputs, don't I? There and there. Like that. And I also need iron plate at some point. So this is some copper here and here. Let's see if we can't sort of... give ourselves maximum room. I needed 4, didn't I? So if we underground it around here. Oops. Four. Oh, okay. I see what's happened there. Like that. Like that. Like that. So that's the copper for the whatchamacallit. So we need to feed in green circuits on those two. And these two. Where's the other? There it is. And have iron plate coming in somewhere there. So I could probably just feed in the iron plate fairly directly. If there's going to be enough room. Nah, it's probably going to be better to have iron plate undergrounded. Yeah. Yeah. Undergrounded from this way, basically. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because what I'm thinking is these first two machines, or these two machines, you can probably get a bit of bonus green circuits out of them. Where can I do that from? No, let's do it there. Like that. Oh no, they're both on the same side anyway now, aren't they? Okay. Right. This is going to be fun. Right, so we want to go down there. Similar sort of idea. Oops. Like that. Okay, so we should be able to basically copy and paste this to... I think we needed 4. Oh. No. There was something weird there with the belts, wasn't there? What are you? What is that? Don't know. I mean, this isn't going to be enough copper to feed all of them. Not by a long shot. But then I could always feed it in from the top as well. So this needs to be iron plate. Them two. We have a... I keep losing the loader. There we go. So this is going to be the loader with iron plate. And then this is going to be copper. Okay. Oh, that was the belt weirdness there. Oops. Okay. Okay. So, if I do that all the way down, so we do that like that. Like that. So that's all outputting there. And then I need to squeeze a 4-to-2 balancer in, really. How might I do that? So that's not a bad position there. And then we snake that round there. Snake this round here. Snake that down there. That up there. Oh. Ah. Missed. No. There. So why are you so slow? You're slow because you don't... Oh, why did I even put a fast inserter on that at all? Oops. Oh, of course I need to put the plastic on it as well. So plastic would be a separate thing coming in definitely a separate build, as I've done elsewhere. So that's not, you know, not fussed about that. Oh, which side is it on? It's on the, yeah, okay. So fine with those two, like that. So it's running continuously. But say it's not actually outputting as many copper cables as we need. The question is whether that matters. Oh, why have you ground to a halt? Oh, I didn't hook the sulfuric acid back up, did I? If I just put this might be tricky for the actual build, but I could always feed it in at the top, actually. In fact, why don't I do that? Why don't I? Because I want to have them at the top as well. Can't do that then. Where's the cheaty? There it is. Yeah, so this may be a bit of a trick shot I need to do for green circuits. We should be able to basically... No, it's just... Let's do it organically. So this would be... That needs to be, say... Which one is that one? Yeah, okay. So I take that around there. In fact, these could be fairly straight. For the time being, we may need to feed in more copper and iron plate, basically. We'll see about that, though. So you're running very slowly because you're not getting any copper cable, because this is starved of copper cable, as kind of expected. So, how do we solve that? We solve that in one of a couple of ways, or potentially in one of a couple of ways. Because what I can actually do here, you see, is because the whole... no, that was wrong. Because it outloads on the right side or far side of the belt, doesn't it? So it's this one, is it? Where you have the quirk? No, they are both on the same side, aren't they? How did I do that before then? Not sure. What we can do, though, is obviously we have a bit of free sort of room. Because basically I can flip these round. Like this. For one thing. No, down. And input copper from the top. I'll leave that empty for the time being. And this gets around the issue of, you know, needing to take it all the way down. You've got copper. Oh. You've got copper. You've got copper. You've got copper. You've got copper. So have you. And you. And you. And we know these don't run at anything like full speed, so, you know, eventually copper will probably start drifting out of here. Yeah, there you go, you see. Why are you stopped if you've got all this copper sat here? Why is that? I don't know what happened there. That was a bit weird. So this has got the rest of the copper from the here, which we know doesn't get fully used. So we might actually be able to take it that way anyway. Do that. That's a bit of a mess, isn't it? So it's occasionally running out of copper, but it's got copper. It just doesn't have a way of inputting it. So that gives it more options. Okay. Now what about these machines? These are not running because they're not really getting full copper. Copper cable, and that's, as I was saying before, because I'm trying to feed two machines basically with one copper cable machine, and it's not actually enough. The question is whether it matters. Yeah, you're not running at all full speed, are you? Because we're supplying the red. In fact, what might help slightly is if we take all of that out for these two here, because we shouldn't need that double supply. It'll concentrate it more onto these lanes. Oops. So that's a little more going up that way, but it's still nowhere near enough, is it? No. Okay, I think I'll abandon that idea. Basically, so what I'll do instead is we won't try and have these machines here. Because issue basically, I could feed in more copper cable by having more copper cable machines. But to do that, I need somewhere to put them, basically. You know, because it's basically one-to-one. And the problem with that is that if I have copper cable machines, you know, here, feeding in to these, I mean, I wouldn't need these, so it would free up some internal room. But basically, we would have, you know, effectively this side of it repeated over and over again. And the problem with that is that there's not going to be enough room with these green cables, green circuits, basically. Because once these got more cables, they would output much more. In fact, I can sort of show that, basically. If I chop this off, like that, all of their output, and we can obviously do the thing again of doing the undergrounds across, but all of their output is now going to a single machine which is running better. Still not quite enough though. So say we could do an output here, bolster it up. We could also probably stick that one on there because that'll add extra stuff in. Make sure that's fully saturated. And now it's running out of iron plate, you see, so we would need a bit more production there. But the basic point is that you need sort of 1-to-1 for these to run properly. And I can't do that and have them couple cable machines here because there would be not enough room essentially for everything else to run through. So instead, what I'll probably do is have a separate green circuit build that's just a dedicated green circuit build, but it's just feeding in here, so it's just enough machines to feed all of these blue circuits, and we could probably stick it on the end. We could stick it on here. In fact, why don't I do that? Huh. That's just occurred to me. So if we chop out, say we have, instead of that, yeah, and then we could snake the belts around. That makes a lot more sense. Okay. So if I just get rid of... See, this is the stuff I enjoy, but... I mean, do you mind if I... Is it interesting? Because it's sort of... I could probably work it all out with spreadsheets and maths, but... I say it's just more fun for me to do it. Let's just take that down. Manually, basically. Is that all getting down now? Oh, you're not. Why are you not? Oh, you're running now. So if we take all of this out, like that. Effectively, if I underground sort of here as well, where would it be? It'd be, say, like that. Why is that not running? Because I'm going to need to take a couple of lanes of green circuits this way then. To feed into the blue there. And then we want that one there. One there. One there. There's one missing. There we go. Like that. Oh, no, that's wrong, because what I need to do is copy this up. Oh. What have I done here? So if I just tidy all this up a bit, we'll make that just a lane there. Take all of that rubbish out. Like so. Why are you not running? Oh, because you're not running. Okay. Yeah, so if I just sort of... I say this is all sort of thrown together, really, but I think you can see the principle would be that we have green circuit builds tacked on the end here for these, and then I'll put the green circuits on the end, on this end, and just belt them round and sort of avoid the whole spaghetti monstrosity issue. It does mean I'm going to need some more. Oops. I say this is very messy now, but that's fine. So I need what? I need iron plate on those two, and then plastic on these, and then copper on here. So that should kick them back into action. Yep. And I need to be able to take a whole load of lanes of green circuits, don't I? Around here. So that's going to have to go down there. It's the same base. I mean, you get this issue essentially when you do any blue circuit production, because blue circuits are so hungry for green circuits that it's sort of an issue of producing them no matter what, basically. I should have... There we go. So that should be there. That should be there. Should be like that. And then we're going to have... Where is it? Here we go. That and that. And then you go up there. Ah, dear. So we want like that there. I'm going to need more undergrounds on that, aren't I? Oh. So we'll copy that one over. I don't think these need to be full lanes as such, but... Wait. Something's wrong there. We've got... Oh, well, let's hook them two up. Like so. So we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, it's just because it's... Oh, I've not done... Yeah, maximum extent. Okay. And then we have a total of 12 lanes that we need to feed with green circuits. So, let's go back to the drawing board again. We are looking at blue circuits, and we're looking at the green circuits that we need for them. Looking at blue circuits. What did... Oh, I've got the robot frames back on. What was I doing there? So I got the... Yeah, so I need 30... And you see it's actually slightly more. Is one of the things. It's more green circuit... more cables than it is, you know, green circuit machines. But we'll compensate for that by having more green circuit machines than we need, essentially. So we've got... Is this a 7? 7, isn't it? So what's a multiple of 7 that gets us there? It's 7, 14, 21, 28, 35. So 7, 14, 21, 28, 35. So we need 5 columns of green circuits, basically. No wonder I couldn't fit it in, because that's a bonkers amount. Right, so... Oh, let's just do it from fresh again. So if we do that there... That there... So this is the green circuits. What have I done? Oh. This is green circuits. Then this will be the cables. Again, prod modules, like so. Speeds. Oops. Power. Might be easier to have that there actually. And then we do the old 1 to 1. Like so. And I mean, how many lanes of iron plate is it? $11? Yeah, 11. Well, 11. So we're going to have 5 columns. Oh, we need 11 coming in. So we need to feed in at the bottom and the top, basically. Okay. Let's give it that. And then we'll output. I might give it the option of doing that, actually. Because we can put that on there. Like so. Down there. There may need to be a interesting balancer because I've got 12 rows with only 5, haven't I? So, So it could be an interesting balancer job, that. Right, so do this. No. Right, so we want that and put there. So this is iron plate. This is copper. And that's copper coming in there. Cool. So if I copy that up for these ones, first 3. And then we want to, oh, I always get the flip wrong. Vertical flip? No, that wasn't vertical flip, was it? Vertical flip? No? Oh, it's because I've accidentally copied. Okay. I've accidentally grabbed more than I need. So, vertical flip. Yeah. So do that there. And then essentially all of that. Like that, and then that's iron plate, that's copper. So this should be green circuits. Okay, so we want actually let's copy all of it. All of that. Was it 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put that in there. That in there. Obviously, I have to do the middle one a bit separately because it's getting stuff from both ends. Let's check again. So we've taken red circuits out of the mix. We're going to end up with 50. Oh. These are going to oversaturate the belts. And yeah, it's only 2, I think, to fill the belt. Because this would need to be 7.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we need an extra output, basically. Which we can put somewhere. I mean, I could always do an extra one here. I need to get the right side, though. Because that's on the right, isn't it? So we do an extra one sort of here. Oh, no, that didn't work. Because what I really need, I guess, is to move this up. Okay. Unless I have it poking out the back. Maybe that'll be easier. Yeah, okay. So have one sort of poking out the back. I guess actually it would be that anyway. Oh. So this is basically the sort of excess production. In fact, I've got 6, haven't I? I do need the middle one, don't I think? Yeah. So if I do that, copy that there and there, and that gives us a... Oh. Helps if it's got the inserters on it. Oh, that's only going to be on one side of the belt, isn't it? Bum. Well, actually, we'll have sort of something coming out of here eventually. Put these two together. So that's a lane. I say this will be sort of a lane. Okay. So that gives us the 7. Okay. So we would need a 7 to 12 balancer, but I haven't got a 7 to 12 balancer. I can do a 3 to 4. Yeah, let's do that. So we'll do a 3 to 4. 3 to 4. I appreciate a lot of this is kind of in my head, so my apologies if it kind of makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, the build is done. The gold build is, finished. It's just I'm sort of fine tuning how everything's done, and I've been very keen to do as much localized production as I can on all of these builds. I'd quite like to just have... Oh, hang on. What have I done there? No, it's not 3 to 4, is it? It's a 3 to, I guess, 6? Maybe if I do a 4 to 6. Yeah, okay. 4 to 6, and then I sort of split. So this would be 6 lanes. Oh. Yeah. So we then have basically those are the 4 sort of full lanes, and I do another one of them here. And basically I need to split one lane that's coming out. Okay. Of these. Like so. That's. I mean, I need these ones in the middle as well. Why are you not running? You're not running because you don't have sulfuric acid, do you? Do you? Didn't I put the sulfuric acid at the top? No. Okay. So there's some left in the pipes, but I need to hook all of these up. Oh. Why are you not running? Because you're not getting red circuits. You're not getting red circuits. Oh. What? Okay. Oh, right, that's feeding in from the bottom. Okay. Alright, fine. Did I not put them on then? Okay. Because those should be... Oh, it should be the other way around. I've obviously not done that. Only done the one while I was experimenting, I guess. Wouldn't life be so much easier with bots if I wasn't such a stubborn so-and-so? It'd be way easier to just set this up with bots. Oh well. So, plop that as copper. So hopefully the red circuits are all running, or will be when the copper gets down. Interesting that this is nowhere near full. Oh, it's still not producing enough copper cable. But then we kind of knew that, because we would need more copper cable machines than we've got. Did I only put... I did only put the 3 lanes on, didn't I? How would I fit that in? Don't think I can now. I mean, I could kind of go around here. Oh, why have we got a... Oh, that's the blue circuits, okay. Da-da-da. Right, we'll hook these up. Same sort of dealio. Which is to say, we need to take out all of these. 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3. What? Oh, yeah, we've got that one there. 4. 4? Oh, there's 2 here as well. Okay. Oh. So 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6. Okay. So then 4 to 6. Auto save. So it's these ones. And then these ones. Let's give it a bit of room. Yeah. That. And then, well, I guess I have to do it one by one, don't we? So, green in there. Oops. Green in there. Oh, yeah, I need to put that. Okay. I mean, what I should actually probably do is feed all of these into a 8 to 8 balancer. And then split them, basically. You know, feed that 8 into 2 4 to 6. Well, 2 of these. Right, so this is coming out the top there. So I've done that, haven't I? Yeah. Right, and then up there. There. Copy and paste that. There and there. Have this going up here. Like so. Oops. Oh, I got that wrong. Because these want to double side, essentially. There we go. In fact, in which case, why have I got... Oh, because it's not too... Yeah, okay. Yeah, see, I mean, these are like full and these are empty, basically. So this wants to be a 3 to 6 balancer. No, that's right. I need to split one of these lanes. That's right. What have I done here? So that's double. Yeah, so the middle one, that one, I've divided in two. Okay. So it's not how I will do it in the main save. I'll almost certainly balance these together. Here we go. And then there's some shenanigans here. Shenanigans. Now, why aren't you running? Because you haven't got red circuits again. Why haven't you got red circuits? Because you haven't got green circuits. Why haven't you got green circuits? Because this is not producing enough green circuits. Dang. I think I would need 2 rows. No, why is that much more stuff there than it is there? What's going on there? I guess it's the whole thing that inserters prioritize like from the left to output. I guess, but it doesn't look right now. Oh no, you're... Yeah, okay. I'm just going to chuck... basically, this needs to be 2 rows. But instead of that, I'll just chuck in a cheat instead. Because I'm a bit fed up of... of doing this. Let's leave the machine there, and then we'll just chuck a cheat. Oops, chuck a cheat in there. Chuck a cheat on me. So I assume this is actually two sets of machines, probably, rather than what I've got there. So I'll just take them out and do that. It comes back to the same thing of I would need more copper cable machines. So, you know, in the build in the actual, you know, game proper, the save proper, that's what I'll probably end up doing, having more copper cable machines. But for now, we know that's a soluble problem. So we'll just make sure that they're running. Get rid of all that. So I'll copy and paste that. Go. Okay, so we'll plop these in. Right. So, because this is coming in from both directions, basically. And going out here. And all three. And we've got the green circuits there. What we're looking for, prop modules. So this iron plate is coming both from there and there. Oops. And down there. So I need to output on both sides. Over here. Feed it, except I don't. What I need to do here. Because 3 machines is basically saturating the belt, so if I put any more circuits up there... Okay, so actually, it's probably better if we essentially have a void in the middle and maybe have another row, another column rather. So does this, I mean, this, how close does this get to sort of saturating or making the blue circuits run? In fact, it's been running for a while now, hasn't it? So we could just fire up the production stats. See what science is doing. Yeah, so it's under 4, under 5. And I would assume that's... Oh no, it's not even 3.5, is it? Take that out. So we're only running at 4.3, you see. See how it's gone all over the shop. Okay, and is that because these just aren't running? Yeah, you're not getting enough green circuits, are you? So basically, why is that not even feeding in? Why is that all backed up? Because I've not put that there. Yeah, okay. So basically we need another like column of green circuits, because 3 basically is filling, you know, the belt. Basically, you know, there's the occasional gap, and that's because of the whole... I mean, what I could do to sort that out is I could have, you know, an extra inserter, and it'll actually help with the production. This, because it's like 2 to 1, we can actually like have another one somewhere here. So it gets a little tricky, that, because what we would want is it to be there. Something like that. And we don't need this here because we don't want to output both sides. So we could do something funky with inserters here. How would that work? In fact, do I need... no, I just have multiple inserters. Boosting it in. You know, we could move this. And actually have it do something like that instead. And now it's basically running at full chat. Are you running at full speed? You're running at full speed. You're running at full speed. So I could do that, couldn't I? I mean, in fact, why don't I just... If I copy that unit... copy all of that. Yeah, and then we'll get rid of everything, and I'll plop it in again, and we'll see if that improves things. But I think I need an extra row of. Let's get rid of everything. An extra column, rather, to give me that production. So if I take all of this out, you see, and that, and then plop it back in. Oh. And there. It's a very satisfying thunk they've given the. It's magnifying it up because basically. Oh. Yeah. Some odds happened there. Because that's not. Oh, we got extra belt there. Why is that not working? Oh. That should be an underground. Not sure why that didn't copy over properly. Obviously grabbed the wrong bit, I would guess. So it's that bit, isn't it, that's wrong. That bit. Why are you not outputting? There? Oh. Because I haven't got a underground now. Like that. Like that. So I need this to chunk through. Basically these, because they'll be backed up basically. Get rid of that. Don't need that bit. Are you outputting? So you're full. Oh, that needs to be a stack. Get everything out. Do. Oh, I double-sided these, didn't I? So this isn't. That's wrong. So actually, we could probably have. Is that 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so I don't need to split this anymore. So that should help. Let's just do that. Like that. There you go. So my suspicion is that actually I need another column because I'm not. I think I need like, was it 36, 32 or something? Or it's like 30, but, you know, running more than 100%. And these are going to be, these will occasionally starve of copper plate because I'm not quite feeding enough in. So that's another thing we could solve. You know, we've now obviously got a. If I am going to keep this central column, central row free, I could feed more copper plate in there. And I say this would be better balance because we're getting more output here than we are here. Because of that weird effect that they, you know, the inserters work kind of in a left to right, top to bottom way. So these have priority, basically. The top ones, which means there's more coming out of the top there, basically. You know, and that is obviously, you know, because the amount of material on it is building up as it goes across. This one is, you know, doesn't have any room to put things onto this belt, so it's maximizing its output on here, which means that I'm effectively feeding the 4 fullest belts into one inserter and the 4 emptiest belts into the other. And I say that's, you know, I can sort all that out later, because what I should actually do is have an 8-to-8 balancer here and then split it into two things. Because it, you know, we need 12 inputs, but like only 8 belts worth. So I could just do is effectively delete this like that, copy that, and then get the flip right, which is not F, it's G. Did it do it then? Or did the autosave kill it? I think that's right. So they should start producing green circuits from the top. And I say I don't need to double feed that. Oh, instead we can have an extra belt. Oh, an extra belt here, rather than splitting that. I didn't leave the splitter on at the bottom, did I? No. And we want that there, that there, that there. Get rid of that rubbish. Ah, why are you outputting on just one side? I guess because this is not correct anymore. Yeah, there we go. So what we actually want here... Oh, that might be tricky. We could take these over. Let's just do that quickly. Get these out of the way. Not 100% why I'm sure why I'm doing this manually, but there you go. Because the issue here basically is that this needs to be... No, why did I do that? Like that. So these are both outputting on the same side. So that needs to be an output. Which means that, yeah, there we go. That needs to go down, be an input. And that's an output on that side. Because there is basically... How can I put it? They're not rotationally symmetrical in their behaviour. No, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Might as well just finish it off with all of them. In fact, I don't need to do that bit, do I? I could just do that. I kind of learned that point the hard way. Especially they always output on particular sides of belts, and it doesn't matter if you rotate them round. They still output on the effectively the same side, even though you've rotated it round. It's a bit like the thing with train stations where the game won't let you flip and flip the train station or blueprints with train stations or signals in because they could end up in the wrong places essentially. So the game just prevents you from doing it. Oops. Right. So you're working now? Yeah, okay. So that's the same flow coming out of all of them. So let's have a quick look at the production stat. Has that boosted it? Science. Drop it down. So it's gone up. I say I suspect we need another column of green circuits. Is everybody working here? Oh yeah, well, yeah. We know we do need stuff here. Yeah, so these aren't really getting the green circuits they need. In fact, why has that not got an inserter there? Same here. Why is this missing an inserter here? Inserter. You see, it's not full, basically, and that's why. But it's also not backing up here. So these are eating all of these circuits. Yeah, so we would need one more column, basically. You can sort of tell the difference here in that these are working and these aren't working. And it's because of the difference in amount coming out here. Should I just do that? Because I say what I should do is do a balancer here. 8 to 8. Like that. Like that. Take that out of the way. Oops. Like so. Oops. And then feed these in here. Oops. Mm-hmm. And then these here. So what that's doing basically is evening out the unevenness of the production. And as I say, what I should really do is feed more copper in here for these machines. And then we would get even more green circuits out. But also, as I say, I probably need an extra column. Because now... Oh, I don't know, that is nearly working, isn't it? No, in fact, it is sort of producing. Obviously, I should do the bottom. Same with the bottom. Has that boosted the production? Oh yeah. Oh, okay. You see, it's edged up. Although that's obviously because I switched it off effectively. But it's gone up 5.2-ish. So yeah, so it's things like that that I would normally spend hours and hours tweaking when I've done the builds before. But the basic point is, I sort of, the way I do them is I massively, well, not massively, but I big time overproduce with the basics, or have more machines to produce more than they actually need, because it's the rounding up thing, where basically, the blue circuits need, say 3.2 red circuits, but then I say, right, well, actually, you can't do 0.2 red circuits, so you do 4 red circuits. But then when you lay them out, actually you end up with, 12 red circuits because of how it is. And so then, you kind of need more green circuits to feed the fact that you've got more machines. And it's where bots would be a lot better, because bots nowadays, now that they've sort of worked a lot of the code out, bots will do even distribution. They used to do literally nearest first, but now they try and distribute things evenly. So, if I was dropping copper plates off here, then the bots would put in like even amounts of copper plates across them. Whereas at the moment, with belts, you get this issue where there isn't actually enough copper on a single belt to fill it in. So I would either need to put, a second row of copper up here and have it being fed by this, or as it happens, we've got a bit of space here, so really we want more copper coming in here to feed this internal set. And as I say, we might find that would then just about produce enough blue circuits, because of course, as I say, I've rounded up the blue circuits. So actually, we don't quite need all of the blue circuit machines to run at full speed, because they're overproducing. So let's have another quick look. Let's just try that sides again. Yeah, there we go. So we're sort of chunking around the 5k mark now. So we know that if we can feed, we already know that if we feed in enough green circuits, this will run properly. It's just that we're not quite doing that yet. So probably more copper here, an extra column. Obviously, we know we need more green circuits here, but it's too much of a faff to stick them in. And we kind of sort it, basically. So this is the build. This is the green circuit build, the gold science build. What I would normally do is then, I would actually normally, I don't want to do it here because I think it's probably it's just a bit too tedious. But what I would normally do is then hook up the train stations. So I've actually got, if I've still got it, I might have blooming deleted it. But I can always copy and paste one. There's a station. No, have I got rid of it? I must have had a clear out of the blueprints and I've just deleted them all, because I had it blueprinted. But basically, it's the same station as I've got on the main save, which is where? Where the heck have I got it? Here we go. So this is it here. So I would, actually we'll grab the balancers. So I would, take this and say I did have a blueprint of it, but I've obviously got rid of that somewhere. At some point, rather. Oh, that's purple. Where's blue? There we go. So I would come in here and I would start plopping down. So we know we need copper over here. So we would probably end up needing, say, 2 copper stations. And I know I need lots of iron plate over here. So we would plop in, some iron plate stations. Now, as it happens, I would probably just leave the plastic. I wouldn't bother with that. But we know we need an oil one and a coal one for plastic, and also oil for lube. What else is there? We need more copper over here, so we'd probably end up with a copper there. It'd probably be more copper, wouldn't it? So yeah, I would go plopping in the stations and try and work out, how many, roughly speaking, I actually needed. Because what this is as part of creative mode, these stations... Oh, I forgot to copy the trains. But basically the trains have an equivalent... Have I even got any? There we go. Duplicating cargo wagon. To the chests, where you can stick in copper, for example. Let's hook that up. Oh, missed. And it infinitely produces what you want. So the idea would be, how many stations do I need? Because obviously, you know, some of these, I'm not going to use all of the copper going in, so it doesn't matter if they're not full lanes. But others, where I'm, you know, for example, feeding it all the way through, I probably do want to be properly full lanes. And I say that's sort of what I would work out. It can also be, it's also sort of derivable from here, in that I would look at all of this stuff, turn everything on basically, and see how much of the raw stuff it wants me to produce. So it's saying 18 cargo wagons a minute, basically. So my trains only have 8. So that's, you know, 2 and a bit, 2 and a quarter or something, 2 and a third wagons per minute. But that's a ridiculous amount. You can't really unload the wagons that quickly. So you need to think in terms of sort of doubling that. So maybe it's 5 sets of trains per minute. But is that practical? Maybe not. So maybe we actually put in, say, 6 trains of iron plate, arrange them so that we can, and then it allows a bit of slack, basically, a bit of latency in the system. But say we won't do that. What I'll do instead is I will fire up, because I'm sort of aware that this has probably been maybe a little boring to watch. And also it's taken me 2.5 hours to do all that. So I say, in terms of transferring it into the main game, what I would do, in order to sort of show me building it, you know, genuinely, not cheating it in, and you know, all I've done is cheat in quotes the design. So what I'd actually start doing is screenshotting. You can actually see here these machines aren't properly running because they're not getting the full blue circuits, because say it's not quite feeding them properly. But we know it should do if it got all of the green circuits. You know, if this wasn't empty, then, you know, it would be fine, because we already sort of proved that. And basically I would, what I would actually do is I would fix this, but I say I'm not going to now. But I just used the Steam screenshots. I don't know if that came through on the audio or not, but basically the F12 would do a screenshot of it, and I would screenshot the key bits. So, for example, here, I would probably screenshot this fairly close, because, you know, I'm doing the thing that actually 2 of those lanes are going up and 3 of them are going sideways. So in order for me to see that, I would take a screenshot of that. We then got this situation here. And what I would probably do is just screenshot the top of it, fairly zoomed in, and then sort of zoom out so I can see how many I need. We've got something going on at the bottom, haven't we, as well? Yeah, the batteries, here we go. So we would screenshot this as well. Maybe a bit more zoomed in, like that. And then we've got some interesting stuff going on here, so I would probably take a screenshot of that. And then zoom out. In fact, I can't even zoom out and show it all. It's so big. No, can't fit it all on. So in that case, I'd probably note down the numbers. But say we'll then do a quick screenshot here, just so that I can note that it's iron in the left, copper in the right, and then down the bottom, because of how I'm doing the plastic. What else? I guess, did I do all of science? Let's just do all that. And then maybe some ones for these. I mean, in fact, that was what I thought I said I was going to do, didn't I? In that, actually, with the green circuits, I could put the build up there. So we could have it mirrored, so it's effectively the 3.5 on both sides. That'd probably make more sense, actually. So take one of that. And then we got this thing here. Probably take one of that. So I say, I then have a set of screenshots that, and people have, if you've watched the streams before, you'll have seen me looking at the screenshots. But I wasn't able to actually show them. Right, so what I think we'll do, I say it's only about half an hour left on the stream, and I, for one, am fed up of doing this complicated build. So what we'll do, we'll hop over to... I might just save that so it's done. We'll quit out, back to the main screen. I will turn off creative mode. Where's creative mode? There we go. So that'll fire through back to normal, and we'll load up the main. And what I'll stream with a little bit of beta clearance, maybe. So I want to single player, load game, 54. There we go. So yeah, so that's the process I've basically been going through with the builds, where I essentially build like what I think will work as a layout of all of the stuff, and then I go about, and for the big parts, so the science and what you need to make the science, arranged around it, and then I work out if and how I can feed in the the tiers of material. So like the robot frames, you need to feed in batteries. So I see if I can fit batteries in. Also, the electric engines, all that sort of stuff. Can I fit that in? Yes. Can I fit engines in? Yes. Can I fit, cogs and pipes in? Yes. And how do I feed it all? And that's the sort of optimization phase of it, in the sense of, I mean, it's not optimum, but in the sense of getting it to work with the raw materials, with the assumption that basically I will feed in, raw oil and coal, but then, iron plate. Well, I've got the options of either stone brick or raw stone, iron plate, copper plate. So I say that's kind of the process I've been going through. Right, so I say we've got about half an hour left on the stream. I'm not proposing to do anything that needs me to particularly think. So what I'll probably do, I'll just spam out some artillery down the bottom here, if I can. So we'll just clear some of these out. Because what I've been doing with the biter clearance, basically, is I thin out, if they're in artillery range, I thin out these big sort of nest sites, just to cut it down a bit, basically. And then I use Spidertron, a collection of Spidertrons. And I just randomly click in. There's no rhyme or reason to this. It's just a bit of red, click on it sort of thing, all over the place. Because there's loads of artillery along the walls, so that's all fine. I have been having a lot of trouble with... I do this, basically. Well, it's fine here because there's proper walls. But when I do this out here, what happens is the biter responses, because this will wipe out basically anything. This will take out... This is just my The idea of these is to keep the train tracks clear. It takes out an area or covers an area of artillery. So if they try and spawn a new base in here somewhere, this just wipes it out. And the spawns are tiny, so it can handle all of that. And in fact, I might be able to just show you. I don't mind it destroying it again because it's not really running. But if I do here, it'll almost certainly be this guy. In fact, it might not be because it's probably out of shells. But say we did over here, it's these artillery ones that are going to fire them out. And what will happen is a big set of response biters will accumulate, and then they'll go back over here. They'll rush over, basically, or not rush, but walk over as a big conglomeration of biters. In fact, there's some gone that way as well. But what happens is they encounter these railway lines, right? And there's like double the number of power poles because it's a problem with the pathing of the biters, basically. If some of them get stuck, I mean, they're not stuck, it's because there's other biters in the way. But if they get stuck on something, they start, like, either, if they're a biter, they start eating it, or a spitter, they start spitting at it, and they will destroy this power pole. Even though all the rest of the biters will move on, and it becomes free, they will just stay there and destroy that power pole. So you can imagine that if you get several like waves coming in, because it doesn't give them exact locations. When it says go and respond, it gives them a vague location, and they'll just sort of wander over, over here, and another group will wander over here. And you can easily imagine that like they'll get stuck on several of these power lines. They chew the power lines, and then this is incredibly dependent on lasers, and there's no power, and they just chew their way through this entire outpost. And I have to send either a Spidertron over or whatever to wipe them out. And what they should have is a load of it should be everything, because at the moment I've got what actually happens is they chew through this, for example, this end, and then these uranium kick in and destroy them. But these only have a relatively small range. They're just like defense for the lasers. But of course the spitters obliterate all the lasers while they're unpowered, and then they all come in here. These kill them off, and I'm left with like this half-eaten. Here we go. So here's some responding. That's rubbish. But eaten this half-eaten outpost, and I have to send some construction Spidertrons all the way over, and it's so far away that takes ages. Even if I was to send a train, here we go. Here's a big response going on. Here we go. Now, luckily, they haven't chewed through the... Oh, there's another one. Are they going to chew through the power line? No, I was lucky again there. So it's like if they happen to get stuck on a power line, it just wipes them out straight away. It's not really... I mean, you lose a few, but they get replaced or repaired. And it's like a tiny attritional cost. There you go. But I say, if they get stuck on the power line, particularly if they come from this direction, eat the power line, and then suddenly this entire thing is down. And it takes us the other thing that happens, which is, to me, is just wrong. So this is a train. This is my artillery train going out to do basically to drop off. Well, the outposts it'll clear around. For these, it'll just restock them. And if one of these trains hits a behemoth biter, it'll just stop dead. And it won't kill the biter. Because for some reason... Oh, he's just chilling. For some reason, behemoth biters basically are tough enough to withstand getting hit by a train. It doesn't matter how... Well, what you can do is, you can get the giganto trains where there's like infinite... Not infinite, but, like 100 wagon train... tractor engines, and they'll just basically, they will eventually smash their way through the biters. But if you have normal sized trains and they hit a behemoth biter, it just stops. Here we go. So there's another bit of response going on there. And then, because it's aggroed the biter, they will then attack the train, and they just eat your train. And the train obviously just sits there, because it also wipes out the orders. If it just stops, it'll flip into manual mode, so it won't attempt to keep going. I mean, it has to stop. Sometimes it'll slow down and then it'll keep going. But if it stops, they'll just eat your train, and it's just tedious. It's not really difficult. It just becomes tedious. And so what I guess I should really be doing is defending my train lines. But that would take an enormous amount of messing about. The other option would be to just extend all of my walls continuously. And that's probably what I should have done. But I didn't know there was this problem with behemoth biters. Because whenever I've played with them before, it's never been that much of a problem, because I've never done a base this big. So I've never got out to the point where I am doing outposts a long distance away, and trains could hit, biters. They've always just been either inside my walls. In fact, they've always been inside. I always extend walls, but I've never done something on this scale. So yeah, so I say this was what I was saying about I would probably do like a train world if I did this again, so that the patches were less frequent but bigger, and then I wouldn't have to go all this way out for big patches, because that's only 30 million. It's not that big. What's that? 44, 39, 33. So, and if you look at that distance, it's enormous. And so if that was 100 million out of that distance, that's a lot less railway to defend for an outpost that's going to last a lot longer. So it's sort of interesting. So what I've been doing then, I've already thinned these guys out. So we'll just go around. I might just turn the volume down because it's a bit loud. If we turn that down to, say, I don't know, 35 or something. And then essentially we just want to go through with the old Spidey bots, and they've got explosive rounds, explosive rockets. So I just go around and clear them out, basically. So I say the idea is my plan is to build gold science in this area. But we now know that the gold science build is probably going to fill up. Well, actually, I'll probably maybe put it down there. But I think the gold science build will be, because it's a weird shape. It's like an X shape if you look at it. But that will give us room to put the trains in. But I say, when you're doing this, it just all takes so long because all the distances are huge. So let's go further on. Go there. And this is what I was saying about, it's not actually difficult. It's just time consuming. There must be mods, I guess, that, because isn't there that, what's it called? Oh, missed one. There's like AI vehicles, I think it's called, something like that, where I assume you can give them more complicated orders, and they'll do things like, travel back and forth and stuff like that. Because another thing that would be useful instead of this would have been to be able to patrol the lines with maybe with a Spidertron, or maybe a train that was armed in some way. I think the whole, behemoths killing trains thing would have been all right if they'd introduced like these like cow catchers that they have on real trains, or cow, what do they call them? Something like that, cow trippers or something, which is basically like a shovel on the front of the train. If you could have had, like researched a special locomotive and make it, sillily expensive because it's an end game thing. But if you could have had that on a special locomotive that was basically able to just sort of drive through the behemoth biters, then the whole thing that normal trains would hit them and stop would have been fine. But you've no way of like making sure the trains can run with behemoth biters kicking about. Let's go down here next. I wonder if anyone's done that. Maybe I should try and mod that in. A sort of a super train or super tractor unit, basically. With a cow tipper on the front. Cow tipper mod. Yeah, the next step. I could start that because it's probably not. There won't be anything in this thing. I've got a blueprint somewhere. Is it that one? Yeah, this has got all the power stuff in. And there's like a big landfill thing. Oh no, that's the old book, so that's the new book. No? Okay. So there's my power, so there it is. Because I'm going to need to... it's just landfill, all this. And then I basically send these Spidertrons over, which have got a load of landfill in them. And they landfill all the lakes. And again, not difficult. Just takes time, basically. And we kind of get to the root of why I've never really done this, because the amount of time everything takes when you don't quite know what you're doing or you don't have a good plan for doing it is kind of silly. Oh, looks like we took a little bit of damage that time. So if we nip back and take them out, and then pop my bots on, because that's like another thing. You can't turn construction bots off on the Spidertrons. So, for example, if I have my thing here, if I put a RoboPort in, you can turn the logistics off, and you can turn the logistics and auto trash. You can't turn the construction bots off. You don't have the equivalent button for all of the Spidertrons. So, if you have it in permanently, then when you take any damage at all, the bots will try and repair you. And of course, bots are a really juicy target for biters, so they get wiped out. And you quickly run out of both repair packs and bots. And your other option, of course, is to turn off and not have the RoboPorts on. Oh, I've still got the bots on. There you go. If you have that, RoboPort on for the bots, for the Spidertrons, then it quickly just, destroys all the robots and the repair packs. And then you've either got to run back to somewhere where you've got repair packs and you can restock them or get them repaired, or I've got to be on board the Spidertron, basically, so that I can turn my bots on and off. So I can't just set these going, and do it all independently. I can't just click across all of this because, they will get damaged. you can't tank them up to the degree that they would with particularly the dense ones. You know, you can't tank them up to that degree. So we'll probably take damage here. And this, I've already thinned this out a bit. So yeah, I think Nilhouse is... Here we go. There you go. So we're taking a little bit of damage there. Not enough that I'm worried, you know. In fact, we'll go back up here. Because it recovers pretty quickly. I think Nilhouse's thing where he just keeps extending his walls is kind of a much more sensible way of doing it. You know, where he would just advance the walls out. My difficulty with that is that I've done these fancy walls. So, you know, I'd either have to leave them there and, you know, have successive like lines of walls, or, you know, tear them up each time, that is really tedious. Obviously, what I should have done really is had a much more, you know, much simpler wall design. But I enjoy designing walls. You know, it's one of the things I like most about the game, really. Not what I mean, defenses. You know, well, in general, that's my thing. That I really enjoy is the designing, the Heath Robinsoning together. Oh, left my bots on. How are we doing? So I've got to clear all of this, basically, you see. I can actually reveal some of this, because we can probably spam some artillery into the black bits. See if there's any biters over there. Oops, missed. Oh, it's like this. This is horribly resource wasteful. Oh, I didn't need to click on the water. Using artillery just to, you know, reveal the map. But, you know, have I got everything? It's a lot easier than walking all that way over there. I know some of the like Megabase communities, they just turn biters and pollution off for that reason, because it's not really a challenge late game. Here we go. So this is a response group. Probably eat through one of my power lines and have to repair it again. Right. How are we doing in terms of rockets? Has everyone run out yet? 1, 2, 3. You can have them follow you and stuff and things like that, but so got about, oh, they're quite uneven, aren't they? So okay, let's hop out and do a bit of repairing, bit of balancing out. Oh, have I got my? Yeah, I have. That. A bit right there. They auto reload. You don't have to manually reload them particularly. How are we doing? Yeah, it's probably a bit more even. I would take, say, 200 for each of them as well. Look at you. Yeah. So, oh, wrong one. Might as well make sure I'm topped up as well. There we go. Turn that off. Get in again. And off we go again. If you move the artillery bases to the other side of the tracks and power lines, would that help? Yes and no. In that, I mean, what I should be doing, and I say I didn't know this. I mean, I didn't think I would have to have these at all. You know, these outpost ones. Am I stood? Let's move down here. I thought I'd be okay in terms of. So what I was hoping is that I always set the outposts up with. This has got an artillery train that turns up and fires out artillery. You know, and clears the area around it. Basically, well, you can see it moving around there. There you go. In fact, that's perfect timing. So it turned. Oh no, that's getting. Oh no, where are you going? They do some weird pathing. But yes, so this. I sort of hoped that what I'd be able to do is just keep the areas around the outposts clear, because the outposts are all defended with walls. So I thought what would happen is basically they would keep the area around them clear. But what was happening is I don't, and I say this is where what I should be doing is like exploiting basically all or almost all of the resource patches, but some of them are so small that's not really worth doing, not at this stage. So you get things like this, big areas where, and I've cleared out all the biters, but there were biters in here. And so what I was like was, okay, so what I'm going to have to do is defend the lines in the sense of keeping biters away from the lines. And that's why I've got these then permanent, structures with artillery on them. But then, because I've been going so far out, and because these are so dense, like you can just clear them with spidertrons, but it's quite difficult to do them when they're this dense. So it's easier to just use these artillery to clear them, like I'm doing now, and just wipe out the biters. But the problem is, then they send those response groups, and those take out the power lines if they get stuck on them. So yes, I could put an equivalent. I could have another structure here, and hopefully then they would attack that. But because it only gives them a vague area, so for example, if you fired out a load of artillery here, take out these, and maybe that artillery did it, then they would path round, and it only gives them a vague. It gives them like the big chunk, of it's over here, and they would stop. For example, what happens is they stop here, and they're looking for a target to attack, but there's no artillery or anything there, and so then they attack the power lines. And maybe a train goes past, and they attack the train. So what I would really need to do is defend all of the track. And as you can imagine, I mean, these are expensive enough to set up in terms of number of lasers and all that sort of stuff. And so what I should really be doing, I guess, in this approach would be having, rows and rows of lasers along all of my track. And maybe every so often there's then an artillery piece to keep it clear. And I just sort of steadily push out, maybe. But as I say, I think an easier solution is basically just keep extending the walls, and you grab all of the resources, and then you don't have to defend it independently. You've got your walls, are just part of your base, and these you can just set up normal, mining. But I say they're so small, it's like not really worth grabbing them at this stage. We need big patches because otherwise the outposts get eaten through straight away. So it's sort of like, I don't know, it's like a tedious part of it in a sense that I just hadn't any clue was going to be a problem. So here we go. This is still quite dense. You know, the spiders will go up here, and they will take them out, but they'll take damage as they go. Just because you cannot put enough, you know, shields in to like completely tank the damage. Oh, I'm about to lose a Spidertron actually. Hang on. I wasn't paying proper attention there. Because one of them is virtually destroyed. Now, that's actually a fairly good illustration. That wasn't a completely dense... That had already been thinned out by the artillery, like these. So these have been thinned out by artillery versus these. And what you have to do with these is you basically like nibble away at the edge. You know, if I can't do the artillery, then you just have to nibble away, and that takes ages in and of itself. So it's, I say, easier in terms of clearing them to, you know, thin out with artillery using these, but I have to make sure that I'm close by, and then I come and just mop. Well, they'll send a train, and the, you know, my Spidertrons can usually take out the train. But again, it's like it just becomes, it makes everything slow basically. And I say that's I mean, it's kind of what I've been trying to grind. Oh, got the thing off. Trying to what I've been grind out off stream, because it's just exactly the same thing over and over again. But it's all part of the, you know, it's part of the learning process. You know, when, you know, you're doing your first rocket launch and all that sort of stuff, you learn so much that you then take into your next game, or, you know, maybe you learn, you know, maybe you, you know, keep that map going, and, you know, you build a more optimum base and all that sort of stuff. It's just that, as I say, the scale of this is is just kind of intimidating, and it's why I've never done it before. And it's only thanks to you guys that are watching that I've kind of kept going with this map. I would have abandoned this ages ago if it was just me, you know, without the series to keep going. And so I do have the option of, there's a command you can use to just wipe out all the biters. So we could do that. But I don't know, part of me wants to just keep going with it all. Because what I should probably do is come up with some more optimal ways of doing it. You know, better walls and all that sort of stuff. But I've kind of reached the point where I just want to finish the goal. Because I mean, we've got gold science and white science, and we've just designed gold science. So next couple of streams, you know, next week we'll be putting that all down if I can get this. Here you go. See, so here's the biters doing the landfill, and basically we have to send them round. They essentially make their own bridges, but there probably won't be enough landfill to fill this entire lake, so they'll have to go and get a bit more landfill. And then we'll want to do that lake, and we'll want to do that lake, and we'll want to do that lake, and we'll want to do that lake. And it's just the same stuff over and over again. Again, you know, I could stick... Oops. I could put cheat mode on and just landfill it, you know. But if I'm going to cheat, I would just cheat, you know. What's the point of doing it for real? You know, if you're going to turn cheat mode on, sort of thing. You know, you might as well cheat all of it if you're going to cheat at all, sort of thing. Maybe that's a weird bit of logic, but... Have we got any ammo left? Has everyone run out of rockets? No, there's a few left. Okay, so I'll do a bit more. Because that's the other thing. If you just clear out with rockets, you know, clear out these big patches with Spidertrons with rockets, then you're going to use a lot more rockets. So you then have to send them back. Whereas this, I've already got a train that delivers, you know, artillery. So it's sort of already set up to deliver the artillery. So you thin them out, I thin them out, and then I've got enough rockets on the Spidertrons to wipe out the bases. And I can just basically do this bit manually, and then I send everyone home, refuel, restock, etc., while I go and make a cup of tea or whatever. So it's not a problem as such. It's just a lot more work than I was kind of anticipating. I've missed one there, haven't I? Let's wipe you out with a bit of artillery. Yeah, I mean, not that I'm not enjoying the series. It's just I don't want to give that impression. There's just a lot I would do differently next time, Boop. I mean, that's the other thing. The actual the behemoth biters. I'm not sure about the spitters. I think the spitters you can kill, but behemoth biters can withstand a hit from artillery. In fact, they can I think it's 2 and a little bit. And I've got have I got damage buffs? I can't remember. Does it count? I think it counts as explosive damage, doesn't it? For artillery. Oh, probably a bit. Yeah, let's retreat a bit. And heal up. But yeah, you can hit them with an artillery strike. The biters. And it doesn't kill them. Yeah, that's how tough they've made them. I say I got up to level 15. Like explosive damage, basically. So if I take, because it's now 6 o'clock, so if I finish these guys off. Like that. And I think we're basically out of ammo now anyway. I'll give it a little heal. We'll have a check how these guys are getting on. So you've got... Oh, so there's 3,000 left. So I might actually be able to do this lake. That's cool. Should hopefully be enough in the dregs to do this. Let's see if we get them dashing all over the place. And then might as well see if they can do a little bit there. Oh, I've got a load of stuff on me. Do a little bit there. See if you can't fill that out. Is that everything? Yeah, that's everything. Yes, so I will send everyone back. Yep, cool. And do my sign off. So that's it for this week. Which is quickest. If we go... In fact, hang on. Let's get everyone to follow me and then I'll just path back. 2, 3, 4. Everyone following? Yeah, cool. Right, so if we head... That's too big a gap, I think. So if we head that way, and then across to there... What have you got left in? Because that's... Is that all of it? Let's just quickly have a quick look. So these got nothing, it's got nothing, it's got nothing. So that one's got 2,500. So we might as well send it over here. See what it can do. Yeah, so that's it for this week in terms of Factorio streams. I'll be back next week when I will have, during the week, hopefully, depending on work commitments, I will hopefully have basically at least landfill, cleared this out and landfilled it so that we're ready to build the gold science. What that will probably end up looking like is basically, I probably won't landfill all of this. I'll use this water as a bit of a buffer, essentially. But I will, because I'm going to punch the blue train out here. Probably actually take it up there like that, maybe. And basically, the actual gold science build will be here. Depending on where I've got to, I will hook it up to these outposts initially, but it'll need a whole separate train line of outposts to feed it. Again, just more doing stuff. So that's what the streams will be next week. Is basically plopping down the actual, plopping down the gold science we've just designed, getting it all up and running, very much like the purple, and feeding in all of the resources we've already got from these outposts. But as I say, it is going to need a whole set of extra outposts. If it looks like, it kind of depends. I have identified a whole little set of jobs that I need to do, like little things. So I'm not sure if I'll do them during the week as well or not, or just this tedious, clearing and filling. I'm not going to have a lot of time. So, is this finished now? Yeah, so send them back. So that's what we'll pick up with next week. Just to let you know, in case you're watching new or you're watching on the VODs, I'm Trismegistus. I have a YouTube channel where all these VODs are archived as well. And you can catch up with a full playlist there if you're interested, or dip into any of the VODs there. It's just exactly the same username. Trismegistus is where you can find me there. And I also stream Satisfactory on a Friday. All my streams start at 3 p.m. British Summer Time. You can look on my Twitch page to find out the local time. The Factorio ones are Saturday and Sunday and 3 hours. Satisfactory is a couple of hours on Friday. VODs for that go up on Friday. VODs for Factorio go up on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So everyone who has been joining me and chipping in with comments, etc., thank you very much. I say it's very useful for me because it gives me something extra to do and a sort of motivation to keep going with the series. Despite all that moaning, I mean that's that's just me moaning. That's what I do no matter what. But yeah, thank you very much everyone for watching along and watching the streams and watching the VODs and all that sort of stuff. It's very, very much appreciated. And I will catch you again in another one. Thanks for watching. Cheers.